Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today's the last day, so I got to show you this. Link to, they're giving away the Ledger Stacks. If you invest $10,000 or more on the Link2 platform using your Uphold wallet. Now Link2 and Uphold are both two of my sponsors. The link to both of their these companies is in the top of the description. But what you can do is you can link your Uphold wallet to your Link2 account. And then when you go to buy private equity today until midnight, if you buy private equity 10,000 or more, they're going to give you a free Ledger Stacks. I've already pre-ordered my Ledger Stacks, so go check it out. Plus, I've been loading up on PolySign private equity through the Link2 platform. Now, let's get going. My spidey senses are tingling today, folks, and I know that we've heard all kinds of settlement rumors and different things over the last month or so, but I want to just drill down on something. Words mean things, and I want you to just listen to what I have to say today, because I can feel it. I can feel it, and I haven't said that. I'm not telling you some timeline or whatever, because they could have settled 2 weeks ago and agreed not to announce it until such and such date or whatever. But I want you to just follow my train of thought. But first I want to show you a couple of things. Remember how decentralized Bitcoin is. Just in for the first time in history, majority of Bitcoin's block production is controlled by two entities. Out of the last 1,000 Bitcoin blocks, 512 have been built by Antpool and Foundry USA, which means over 51% of the network is controlled by two firms. These firms are owned by Jihan Wu and Barry Silbert, same Barry Silbert that the rumors are that his DCG group is having financial issues, who have dozens of shady and fraud, no, I didn't say this, they're saying it, who have dozens of shady and fraud-related scandals. Maxis love to talk about decentralization, but it's BS. If these two actors work together, they could have full control over Bitcoin and even alter the code blockchain. That's a true story right there now. Okay, now, then there's this, and I don't even know what this means. It says, breaking, Saylor is in talks with lawyers to liquidate in the form of a buyback up to 182,000 Bitcoin in market value. OTC negotiations are already ongoing. I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's selling, or does that mean he's buying? It's kind of confusing the way that they worded that. I'm sure we'll find out. Now, I missed this tweet earlier. This was from Christmas Eve. All the elements from David Schwartz, all the elements are now taken. Google has Earth. Amazon has air. Apple has air. Amazon has fire. Ripple has water. That reminds me of when Naveen Gupta said that Ripple will either, how did he say it? I'm drawing a blank right now, but he said they're going to basically be the next Google. They're going to put a dent in the universe, or they're going to go away. He said it's like the next Google. So Ripple has water. All right, then Stefan Huber, this is an interesting tweet right here, because everlasting mystery indeed. After 3 years of investigation, the SEC files a lawsuit against Ripple and declares all the sales of XRP from Ripple illegal. But unlike usual, the SEC does not even try to stop Ripple's further sales. On the contrary, Ripple sells more XRP than ever before, and so did Jed McCaleb, by the way. He continued to sell. SEC files a lawsuit for XRP sales, but doesn't even try to stop it and get an injunction right here. Okay? That is quite an everlasting mystery, isn't it? All right, now, so here's what all the settlement talks about now. I'm going to put all this together for you, because this is how I put it together in my mind. I am convinced. I've told you after we watched how hard they fought to not let us see those Hinman documents. I'm convinced we will never see them. Now, when I say never see them, I mean never see them where they're unredacted and we actually see them. Now, that doesn't mean the SEC may not try to put them out and have 30 pages of redacted everything. They could try that. That doesn't count as us seeing them. Okay, just so we understand each other here. Now, and this seems like something that's nothing. It seems like a little thing that we would all make a big deal out of for nothing. But you do have to ask yourself, and we covered it in the last video. Brad Garlinghouse liked a tweet that specifically mentions their Ripple's settlement, their confidential settlement that they had with YouTube a year ago. This tweet was from March 9th, 2021, and Brad Garlinghouse liked this tweet yesterday, as if, now Brad Garlinghouse is no dummy. He knows that all he has to do is pass wind and the XRP community is going to be there and we'll be able to smell it, okay? He knows this. This is not something he doesn't know. So when he goes and likes a tweet about a YouTube settlement, confidential settlement from a year ago, he knows we're going to see that he liked it. And for that reason, for somebody who's here every day and making 2 videos, my gut is screaming about this, okay? Now, so follow me here. So then we get this from Ashley Prosper, and we've watched over the last month. I mean, it is a major acceleration, almost like people are panicking. We have seen it from Max Kaiser. We've seen it, not one tweet, just multiple, 5 and 10 tweets from Max Kaiser about XRP's a security, take them down, and all this kind of stuff. And then Charles Hoskinson. This is a guy I've been following for years. I've taken 2 photos with this guy, okay? I've talked to him in person 2 or 3 times, okay? This is not an irrational guy, but he's been acting irrationally, like he's angry, like he's scared the last few months, okay? Not characteristic. Then Vitalik Buterin came out of nowhere. He hasn't really said much about XRP since he made the comment when the lawsuit was first dropped. And then he comes out of nowhere. Jim Cramer, not once, not twice, but 3 times. This is a guy that never says the word Ripple or XRP because he was told not to for years, and comes out of nowhere and talks about how horrible and he's very specific, remember. He comes out and he's trying to scare people away from owning it, okay? That's very specifically what he was doing, okay? Then this guy, I missed this one, but then Craig Wright viciously over the last 2 or 3 days, all right? Now, I want to show you this. This is from Anderzel. He says, I think Hoskinson gave it away. I agree with this 1,000%. I think Charles Hoskinson gave it away here too. But I don't think it was just him that gave it away. He says a settlement would mean clarity for XRP while Gary could go after the rest of the market, including Ethereum. Right here. This is the video where he said he's heard that there's a Ripple settlement, and then he says it would be catastrophic for the industry. But we need to go back and you need to watch their words, because if you remember, a week before Charles Hoskinson said that, this girl right here, I keep forgetting let's see if somebody, I can't remember what her name was, but anyway, somebody will remind me. Last time I mentioned it. So anyway, I want to play this for you, and then I'm going to stop it as I go so that you can pick up on what I'm picking up on and why I believe that there is already something that has been done. And I believe that all these Bitcoin maxis and these Ethereum people and Charles Hoskinson, I believe that they're all hearing behind the scenes that Ripple has worked something out that will benefit Ripple and the XRP, but not everybody else. And I believe there's 2 things going on. I believe that at the end of this, you're going to see, I think that Bitcoin has already been given this free clarity. I think Bitcoin will be fine, but I think all others, Cardano, Ethereum, I think they're all fair game. They'll have a target on their back. And here's the thing. But here's the reason that this girl would say what she says here. I originally thought that she was inferring that maybe it was a bad result for Ripple. Now I know better. I don't think that's what she's saying at all. I think she has heard, because remember, this girl, after this interview right here, literally, I was direct messaging with her and I was pinning her down. I was saying things like, listen, now you something obvious, you guys obviously know something. Have you or Maria or Fox Business or anybody in your circle heard anything about a potential settlement or an end to this lawsuit? Have you heard anything about that? She wouldn't answer the question. She was doing the old, well, you'll have to ask them. But they were so specific in their wording here. Now, remember, they're all, like I said, Ripple and these people could have all heard that there's a settlement, and then Ripple and the SEC could have agreed, well, we're just not gonna announce it until January or whatever. So just because these people were wrong on the dates doesn't mean that they didn't hear something that they weren't wrong, that they were wrong. If you listen to the words that they say, don't pay attention to the dates, just listen to the words they say.
I know you're expecting a settlement tomorrow in the lawsuit between the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Okay, settlement tomorrow.
And Ripple. The SEC's filing from 2020 alleged that Ripple Labs and two of its executives raised over $1.3 billion through an unregistered digital securities offering. This is a separate case, but your thoughts on whether any of this has the potential to take down other markets like the stock market?
Absolutely, Maria. Well, it goes to your first point. When contagion happens, it's because everything is cross-collateralized and the system at large based on credit is so fragile. So we do see Bitcoin drawing down, and we can see other assets drawing down as people liquidate in order to cover cover their margins and their short.
Okay, so remember what she's where she's going with this. I believe that she is coming from a place of fear, because what have I said on this channel all along? The second that XRP is put on a level playing field, remember, Bitcoin and Ethereum have had a regulatory free pass for all these years. Bitcoin, but let's take Ethereum, let's set Ethereum out of this. Let's set that aside. What is the worst fear of all these Bitcoin maxis? What has it always been? Is that they would have, that technology would have to compete. In other words, everybody that's invested in this market right now, any of the big boy, any of the institutions, they might be invested in Bitcoin, but they're not in XRP. Why? Not because Bitcoin is somehow superior technologically or has something that XRP doesn't. In fact, it's just the reverse. Everything XRP can do, Bitcoin can't do. XRP can be a store of value just like Bitcoin, but because of the regulatory cloud that has remained over XRP, Bitcoin has been able to benefit from that. I believe when you listen to her and you listen to her well, the first time I heard it, I thought she was inferring there was going to be a bad result for Ripple on this suit. Not when you really listen to it. I believe it's almost like she's talking to investors and saying, hey, don't go invest in this XRP thing, regardless of what this lawsuit, when they give XRP regulatory clarity that's good, and says you can go invest in it, don't do it, because they have these central authority figures. Listen to how she says it.
And so I think what's important to know about the SEC and Ripple, and it'll be interesting to...
She is trying to sell to the investors because I think that she knows. And the reason I think she knows, she's heard about this, is because she said it directly to me. She would not answer the question, and I was very specific, and I was general in that. I was like, have you heard anybody say anything that would lead you to believe? And she wouldn't answer it, and I tried to drill down, and she would not answer it. It was very obvious that she was scared to say anything, and she knew something. It was, to me. Okay, now listen to this.
What the verdict will be is that the SEC charged Ripple with violating securities law and argues that it passes the Howey test. It says that it's a common enterprise, an investment contract, and a common enterprise. And the big thing I want people to remember, no matter what happens tomorrow, is right now you can go to Twitter or Google and you can find Ripple's CEO. And Ripple is the largest holder of its own token. Sound familiar? So if there's a CEO, if there's a company, if there's a pre-mine, a foundation, and...
Now think this through. She doesn't have to sell the SEC. If she's heard something, it's not like she's talking the SEC into changing their decision. It is what it is, okay? So who would she be trying to sell on this? She would be trying to sell the people who are saying, screw Bitcoin, I'll sell out of this and put it in XRP. Those are the people that she's talking to. Listen.
CEO, it's not Bitcoin, and be careful trusting your life savings to a CEO.
Right. In other words, don't leave this Bitcoin ship and go for what's faster, cheaper, more scalable, and actually works. Don't leave it. Then we get to Charles Hoskinson, which I clipped on the end of this.
I've heard rumors that the Ripple case will be settled December 15th.
Okay. Now, the rumors that the Ripple case would be settled, you and I as XRP holders were like, yeah, it'll be settled. If it's settled, Brad Garlinghouse already told us that he's not going to settle. He's already said they're not going to settle without clarity for XRP now and going forward. He did not say clarity for Cardano and all the rest of the industry, because what Charles Hoskinson says next. So in other words, he's heard they're going to settle, but then he says,
we'll just see, and that could have catastrophic implications for the industry.
Okay. How would that have catastrophic? If they're settling, it's not going to be catastrophic for us, because we already know Brad Garlinghouse is not going to settle unless the SEC gives XRP clarity as a non-security now and going forward. Well, if it's catastrophic for the rest of the industry, that means that Cardano, Ethereum, and all these others would have a target on their back. That's why Charles Hoskinson would be pissed. He would be pissed at Ripple, say, you guys, you sold us out. That's how he would look at it. That's how the industry would look at it. That would explain all of these people coming out of the woodwork right now going nuts, okay? It would totally explain it.
One way or the other. But
he goes on here, and now he gets very defensive about, in other words, it's almost like he's saying, I know that we've got a target on our back now.
You just keep moving forward. Regardless of what happens, it's a decentralized ecosystem that you guys control. And the United States of America doesn't get to say that Cardano lives or dies. You do. The world. Okay?
In other words, what he's hearing is XRP is getting clarity and Cardano and the others are not, and that would be catastrophic. Okay?
The point of decentralized ecosystems. And we're going to work as hard as we can on our side to make that protocol better, but I
believe that they're all angry and terrified because those are the whispers they're hearing. And I've always said we're never going to see those not unredacted Hinman documents, and that would be the ultimate bargaining chip for Ripple to get a settlement. To me, that's just me talking out loud. Then we have Jay Clayton, and he's now representing FTX.
Everybody's sitting around going, oh my God, he claims he has no money. How is this $250 million? He doesn't have $250 million. His family is signing for it. They didn't pay 10%. They didn't even put up $25 million, which is typically how this would work. You'd put up about 10%. Is this some kind of sham deal? What is this?
I don't think it's a sham deal. I think, look, you have experienced federal prosecutors, federal judge, all weighing in on this. You don't see any real complaints from what I would say is the experience.
Of course, everything's great. But my question, and what the people over at Squawk Box and Andrew Ross Sorkin should be asking, Jay, is your firm being paid in FTX stolen customer funds? And did Gary Gensler in his $100 million BlockFi settlement receive FTX stolen customer funds? And do they need to give them back? That's the question. Then we've got this on top of the ongoing digital identity and digital residency project. The small Republic of Palau is partnering with Ripple to issue a national stable coin. That's a pretty cool looking island or set of islands. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. I'm betting dimes to donuts on a settlement, folks. I think these people have all heard something. I think that they've heard all kinds of whispers, and piecing it all together, and the crazy rage and people not acting like they normally do, and just piecing it all together. That's what my gut's telling me. If I'm wrong, it won't be the first and it won't be the last time, but it happens. But I'm not afraid to tell